A multi-million-dollar settlement for a Missouri wrongful death lawsuit.
What does the unseasonably warm weather mean down on the farm?
And the outbreaks of mumps continues to grow on MU's campus. This is KOMU 8 News at 6, starting now.
Brandon Ellingson drowned in Highway Patrol custody 2.5 years ago. Now his family reached a multi-million-dollar settlement. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reek.
And I'm Brittany Pieper. His family says the whole process was not about money, but rather making sure this doesn't happen to anyone else. KOMU 8's Hannah Hussman joins us in the studio with what the family's attorney had to say about the settlement.
When Ellingson's arrest for boating while intoxicated resulted in his drowning, his family sued. Now they'll get $9 million. Missouri Highway Patrol Trooper Anthony Piercy arrested Ellingson and handcuffed him. Ellingson fell off the boat and drowned after his life jacket was allegedly secured incorrectly by Piercy. His death in June 2014 comes after the 2011 merger of Missouri Highway Patrol and Water Patrol. The Ellingson family's attorney says for them, it's not about the money.
It takes vigilant prosecution of a case like this to hold people accountable. And that's really what the Ellingsons wanted from the very beginning, is for the state of Missouri to accept responsibility for making the budget decision to merge the Water Patrol with the Highway Patrol.
KOMU 8 reached out to Missouri State Highway Patrol for comment on the settlement. They said, quote, "With this case now settled through the court system, the patrol will have no additional comment on this matter," end quote. In the studio, Hannah Hussman, KOMU 8 News.
Boone County Sheriff's deputies are looking for 3 suspects who robbed an SUV at gunpoint this morning east of Columbia. Here's what we know so far. 3 men, 2 with handguns, approached the owner of a gray SUV in his garage on East Sunrise Court. The 3 pulled into the victim's driveway and pointed their guns at him. The victim ran off to a neighbor's house, not injured. The suspects drove the car away, but deputies found it abandoned an hour later. Boone County Sheriff's deputies confirmed a 49-year-old Columbia man turned himself in last night on sexual assault charges. The deputies said Walter Palma faces 2 charges of second-degree statutory sodomy. A probable cause statement said he sexually assaulted a 15-year-old girl.
In just 2 weeks, the number of mumps cases on the MU campus has more than tripled. KOMU 8's Justice Henderson is live on campus with more on this outbreak.
As of today, there has been 31 confirmed and 27 probable cases of mumps here on MU's campus. If you look at it also, every single mump case that has been confirmed has been here on MU's campus. On November 4th, students got an email from MU Student Health saying that there was only 8 cases, but that number has since more than tripled. Symptoms of the mumps are much like the symptoms of the flu. There's earache, fever, and fatigue, and things of that nature. Students are urged to go to the Student Health Center if they are feeling any of these so that they could be treated before it gets too bad.
Even after 2 doses of vaccine, on average, we get about 88% protection. So you'd still have 12% of the population who's been fully vaccinated that you would expect to get the mumps if they were exposed to it.
I spoke with a student who wishes to remain anonymous, but she had the 3rd confirmed case of mumps here on MU's campus. She went into the Student Health Center on Monday and they sent her back home, but she did not get confirmed with the mumps until Friday. Now, we also say that the confirmed cases are taking a little longer, so the numbers are continuing to grow. The Student Health Center urges all students to make sure that they are washing their hands and covering their mouths continuously because of the germs that are spreading. Reporting live on MU's campus, Justice Henderson, KOMU 8 News.
Right now, Boone County and Columbia are looking for ways to stop homelessness. KOMU 8's Melissa Zigowitz is live at City Hall to tell us the city wants to get the discussion on homelessness going.
Right behind these doors is where more than 50 people are meeting for the first ever Columbia Boone County Homelessness Summit. Speakers from across the country and the state are here to talk about how their communities have come together to help combat the issue.
I'd be willing to say that if we have one homeless person in our community, it needs to be addressed.
And there are about 350 adults without a home in Columbia, to be exact. But now the city is looking for ways to put a roof over their heads.
And once we can address that basic need, then you can start to look at other wraparound services or needs and then help that population accordingly.
Homeless adults in Columbia aren't the only problem.
registered children in the school system, there are over 200 that are homeless, and there are many more who are either embarrassed to register as homeless or don't for some other reason.
Today's summit touches both issues, and people from other cities will share what works in their communities.
So it's just a matter of finding out more and trying to adapt it to what we can do here.
Setting a path to end homelessness is not easy, but awareness is a step in the right direction.
This is a wonderful, fantastic supportive community that we should be able to address homelessness and get to a point where we can have a functional zero of homelessness in our community.
Tonight's summit goes until 9 o'clock and will go through tomorrow evening. Reporting live from Columbia, Melissa Zagowitz, KOMU 8 News.
More than 2,000 Mid-Missourians will enjoy a free Thanksgiving meal next Thursday. Columbia's Everybody Eats program is one of the many programs that will serve plenty of meals. Today, Joe Motkin's employees donated 150 of the 300 turkeys Everybody Eats will provide. Not everyone will receive a personal meal basket, but all are invited to the Everybody Eats community dinner.
So they're able to come out and talk, see people they haven't seen in a while. So it's just really good in helping the community.
The dinner will be held at the Columbia Senior Activity Center. For more details, visit our website at komu.com.
And with just 1 week until Thanksgiving, it doesn't really feel like the holidays out there yet. Mid-Missouri farmers say our warm November could mean something sweet for your Thanksgiving plate. KOMU 8's Lauren Barnes spent the day talking to farmers and is here to tell us why the temperatures matter.
That's right, Brittany. The countdown to Thanksgiving has officially begun, and with just a few days for farmers to finish getting food ready for your plate, they say these abnormal temperatures are really helping them out. I got an inside look into one farm earlier today. Here's why they say the warm weather is so helpful. Most farmers want water.
Crops that are more cold tolerant, kale, cooking greens, spinach, those type of things, although they're not normally growing this time of year, the warm temperatures have allowed them not only to survive but to actually thrive this month.
But unusually warm weather has some eager for ice.
It's kind of sad because it doesn't really feel like the typical holiday with it being warmer.
But these bittersweet temperatures,
normally it's cooler and crisp or in jackets and sweaters,
could mean a sweet surprise on your Thanksgiving plate.
A lot of vegetables, if they can survive into the early fall, just a tiny bit of slightly colder weather can start to convert some more starches to sugars.
He says vegetables like tomatoes and carrots could be sweeter than normal. But even if you're more of a savory person,
there's really good quality meat available locally. It's pasture raised on much better forage than we've had in past years.
Meaning there's plenty for this family to be thankful for.
We have a great turkey, and the ham is what everybody goes for at our family Thanksgiving. So yes, we're definitely looking forward to it.
The manager at the urban farm says he pulled his tomatoes and peppers yesterday to prepare for the first hard frost this weekend. That means farmers are going to be looking out for those cooler temps coming up. And it's Thursday, which means Kenton also has our drought monitor for us today. Let's send it over to him to see what that's looking like.
Lauren, thank you very much. And looking at that drought monitor, you can see Missouri's not doing too bad compared to a lot of the United States here. And zooming in a bit closer to home, you can see we are just in the D0, abnormally dry here for eastern parts of Audrain and Monroe and Montgomery counties here as well. The rest of us are not in a drought. It is starting to sneak in a bit more, though, from the west as well. Kansas City and just a D0 also. So something to be watching for. Otherwise, let's talk about temperatures. As we were just looking at here, it's definitely a warm one. You can see our record here for today, right around 78, and it's also interesting that was in 1958. If you go a year later, back in 1959, that's when the record low temperature was at 4 degrees, but today we reached 80, so we did break that record for the warmest day for this date. Otherwise, looking at rainfall, you can see again why we're not in a drought, because we are very close to the average for the month, and for the year we're still just about 1/4 of an inch above average, but we are definitely feeling these warm temperatures, and a lot of that has to do with a lot of our winds as well. Temperatures still mainly in the 70s across the area, and winds are 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 25. I'm going to have the full forecast, including a big temperature change, coming up later.
Kenton thinks you got to start somewhere, encouraging smokers to put their cigarettes down for at least one day.